I know.
How could you get mad at that?
I know.
I mean, he did
It does
spend
have a
lot of
happy
money.
ending, but I guarantee you when he saw it on
He's
Facebook, he's like, wait a second. Wait a second.
I bought that, and you're giving it away.
Yeah. But now it has a really great happy ending. So hopefully
I like
he's
the
okay with
ending
it.
to that. Yeah.
Yeah.
He must be by now, right?
We hope so.
Let's go ahead and get
Too
started.
late if you're not.
Exactly. Let's go ahead and get started with a look at that forecast. We're still tracking that strong low pressure system out across the Pacific Northwest, moving out of Northern California now into Nevada, and it's going to stay pretty much to the north of us, but we're going to get a little bit of action because of that storm. We could see it with the watches and warnings. We have a wind advisory in yellow for pretty much everyone here in this state, and that kicks in noontime. This orange color right here is a high wind watch. That's something we got to watch. Those high wind watches mean that's where we expect the stronger winds. So you can see the Northwest Plateau and parts of the northeastern plains and northern mountains. Red flag warning covers up the entire eastern plains into central New Mexico, even down to the south. Because of those winds and the dry conditions, that's why we're seeing the red flags for again another day. The temperatures this morning in the 30s and 40s to the north, 50s and 60s to the south. Looks like the warm spot right now is Alamogordo at 65 degrees. 53 here in the Duke City, so still cool enough to need just a light jacket. You won't need it this afternoon. By lunchtime, we'll get back to the mid-60s, topping out near 73 today. But again, it's the winds, the high fire danger, something we've been talking about for days now, is what we're going to be most concerned about heading into this afternoon. Not only are we warm today, we've been so warm over the past couple of days, by a good 10 to 15 degrees for where we should be for this time in April. So that doesn't really work in our favor. The moisture is nowhere to be found. That dry line sits off to our east, so everybody behind it, meaning almost everybody here in New Mexico, is looking at those dry conditions, low relative humidity across the state. And of course, the winds. We saw them yesterday. They ramp up even more heading into this afternoon. We're talking wind gusts over 50 for some of us. So, of course, that does mean we're going to be concerned about the fire danger across the entire state. It's just not the ideal setup. That's the problem. That low pressure will stay to the north, sit over Colorado, and all we're going to get is the winds on the backside of this coming out of the southwest. Now, as far as the blowing dust, yes, this is something we're going to be concerned about. We know what this is like, especially once you get into those open spaces in and around the construction sites around town. You get the dust, you get the tumbleweeds. We need the wetting rain. I'm not seeing it anytime in the near future. We have one storm system looking to be to our south by this weekend, but that's not going to help out most of the state. So we'll get to that a little bit later on in the forecast with southern Colorado. A mix of sun and clouds today. I'm hoping for a stray shower for those of us in Colorado, but most of the activity will be to the north, meaning breezy conditions for parts of Pagosa Springs and Durango. Northwest Plateau, sunny and warm across the Four Corners region. Windy conditions, they back off tomorrow. Temperatures starting to warm up by the weekend. Southwest, a lot of sunshine, but of course those windy conditions over 20-25 miles per hour. Blowing dust is something we're going to have to watch for as well. The temperatures do get down to the mid-70s tomorrow, warmer by Friday. Southeastern plains, partly sunny. Have a disturbance in Texas that's going to pump in a little bit of moisture in the way of clouds, but not rain. You'll still be warm in those 80s today, but with the strong winds we expect, the blowing dust is very likely. Northeastern plains, this is where I expect some of the top wind gusts to be later this afternoon. 60s and 70s as far as temperatures go, but again, the wind and the dust is going to be the biggest concern this afternoon. The northern mountains, again, the gusty winds in and around the higher terrain. Temperatures mild today, slightly cooler tomorrow. We get back to the 60s Friday. East Mountains, very windy. Temperatures in the 60s once again, cooler tomorrow. We get back to those upper 60s Friday. In metro area, up and down the Rio Grande Valley, we're talking strong winds over 25 miles per hour. Our gusts here in the Duke City look to be close to 40-45. Northeastern plains, we're talking wind gusts over 50. But notice the 7-day. We do get down to the 60s tomorrow. 70s take over, and then it's just quiet for a while. Little breezy by the weekend, but nothing like today.
And that's what we like to hear.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
Get through today and you'll be
24 hours of the wind, and then we're good to go.
Thanks so much, Kristen.
Yeah.